Hello and welcome back to another episode of a weekly Waypoint, the weekliest of Waypoints, the show where I talk about my interests and the things that interest me. Damn it, I got it wrong. My week and the things that interest me. We keep loopers in this series. In today's episode, we are playing a match of Overwatch 2 and then a match of Overwatch 2, but this time it'll be deathmatch. I'm starting to get anxious about the battle pass. My friend insists I have plenty of time to finish it. You'll see at the end of this video I hit level 55, but I don't know, man, like it's got a month left and I haven't played it really much in like a week, so but I just wish every battle pass did like the Halo thing of if you've bought it, you can work through it at your own pace. Like the time limited aspect is on buying the battle pass, not working your way through it. It's more ethical, son. But also I've almost hit level 100 in the Fortnite battle pass, which is cool, although I do want some of those level 140-ish extras. Anyway, so this is this is a rare match where I have aim assist. Not that it particularly helps me all that much, you may argue. But I love playing Baptiste as healer, but I don't really play him all that much when I'm playing with Reese anymore, just because when I play with Reese, I'm thrown into the PC pool and aim assist is disabled. And basically, if you play any aim-heavy hero, it's a bad time. They really need to rethink how they do cross-platform play in terms of aim assist, because it's like I still play because I enjoy playing with Reese. Obviously it's the best way to play Overwatch, but also I'm far worse at Overwatch when I'm playing with Reese thanks to that. And I have tried playing on PC and I can't run that shit. It's very bad performance. Although saying that, I've been having issues running World of Warcraft lately, but I finally downloaded the pre-patch, and when I did, I had 7 GB left on my system. Previously, I had 20 GB left on my SSD, but I went back through, I found out where RuneScape installed its cache and moved that over to the hard drive, which freed up 10 GB, and I got rid of some other stuff. And now I have 30 GB free, and it's now running far better. And that's interesting because, you know, I know that like if you have not a lot of space left on the SSD, it will impact how well your system runs, you know, due to RAM and all that. Well, I assume so. I'm not an expert on how this shit works, but usually that's indicated by the red bar. But at 20 GB left, I had a blue bar, but I don't think the colour is maybe as indicative of the quote-unquote safe zone as it might want to be, because at 30 GB I can run World of Warcraft with far substantially far less frame drops. I still get the occasional hitch, but it's much better than it used to be. And this isn't just like the expansion being better optimized than the previous expansion, because I did download the public test realm and it was running like ass, which was concerning me. So the reason I bring that up is maybe with the same kind of thing in mind, I should see if Overwatch 2 runs better, because I have more free space on my drive. Who knows? Who knows? I think I might have uninstalled it though. But even when it was Overwatch 1, you can go back and watch my old Overwatch shenanigans videos. I would get massive frame spikes, and that was before crossplay was a thing, or me having an Xbox was a thing, or the game being free to play was a thing, so I just kind of had to grin and bear it. What new games have I been playing this week? Well, once again, I'm pretty much keeping things safe with the whole Overwatch 2, Halo Infinite, Fortnite, RuneScape combo, but I have added World of Warcraft to that pile because the Dragonflight will be playable on Wednesday, a day in which I'm mostly working, so I probably won't get to play much of it. Sad face, why did I accept overtime? Oh, that's right, because I'm broke as fuck. But yeah, I figured I should probably, because for those of you who don't know, pre-patch is a thing where basically when there's an update, an expansion to World of Warcraft, you've got like two sides of the expansion. Obviously the content side of things, which will come out on actual launch day, and you've got the system side of things. So like, for instance, talents have been revamped, so instead of them just being like 3 different options per like level tier, now it's like the whole talent tree system like it used to be, although it's a bit different. And so that would be a system level change which would be introduced with the pre-patch. But the pre-patch is also in 2 phases this time, because we've got a new class coming, just like with Demon Hunters, so you get to play the new class early. on, well, 2 weeks before the expansion comes out, so you get to like be familiar with what your Drakfear character is going to be. And it's especially exciting this time around, in my opinion, because the amount of customization options for the Drakfear is insane, and I know a lot of people think they look goofy and dumb. I really like how they look, and I am super excited to make my purple silver dragon. He shall be called Atraxes, and he shall go forth and devastate. Also, so I kind of held off on checking out the pre-patch on the system side of things because I thought it was a little boring that all you really had to test out was the new talents and the UI with the initial wave of the pre-patch, so I didn't bother. But now that I'm in there, I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know how any of my characters play anymore thanks to the new talent system, so maybe I should have got in a little bit earlier. Also, the UI, it looks really good, right? I was a big fan of how it looked. I'd only really heard mostly good things about it, but let me tell you, that is a half-baked customization system. It is fucking infuriating to try to bend to your whim and make what you want it to be. Certain UI elements link up together completely randomly if you put them next to each other, and you have to figure out how to detach them from one another. The problem is the main default UI looks dumb because it gives you 3 bars on top of each other, which is pretty chunky, and it has the like griffins on the sides, but it rests like floating above the XP bar, which isn't how it used to look. And as someone who's used to how it used to look, I wanted it to just sit on top of that XP bar, be a little bit closer to it, right? So that's simple. Drag everything down. Sure, I drag the main bar down. Everything above it collapses down into the same area as the one action bar. I don't know why I'm gesticulating with my hands, you can't see me, but it's infuriating that way. They still have interface scaling. You can't just manually scale UI elements like you imagine would obviously be the case. So for instance, the map looks huge, and you can't change it unless you scale the entire UI, except you can scale some UI elements like the action bars, which is kind of how I figured out how to make my UI look how it does. But it's a whole fucking mess. You'll see when I put out my first Adventures in Dragonflight video. And most of my frustrations could be avoided if you could just move the fucking XP bar, but for some reason there's just some occasional UI elements which are solid, frozen in place, cannot be moved. Thanks, guys. But yeah, besides UI customization woes, I'm excited. Mostly because the game runs better on my PC than it has in years, because I sorted some shit out. I mean, it probably also helps that I don't have any add-ons installed yet, but I mean, if I can run the game this well without add-ons, I might just never put add-ons back on the game. What was that? That was a false start. I was going to say, in other news, this week, in terms of video games I've been playing, I also decided to check out Vampire Survivors, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it, but it's just very fun. I've been waiting for achievements to come out for that game before I played it, and I think it's got like 120 achievements or something insane. They're mostly 5 gamer score, but it's a very fun game. Basically, if you don't know what it is, it's like a bullet hell shooter, except you don't control where you shoot. It's more automatic. That doesn't sound fun, but I promise you it is. So like, it's like left stick is the only control you really have, but like you go around, you pick up XP as you kill enemies which are rushing you. You pick up, you level up, you get a choice of upgrades, so it's a little roguelike-y in that way. You get between matches, you get with the gold you earn in matches, you can buy upgrades to like get new characters or like just have base attributes which are better and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fun. It's just like a serotonin injector of a game, and I recommend it. I'd use it again with the full start. I said we're keeping all the bloopers in this episode, so I promise I'm not making that up either. That is literally a noise that came out of my mouth when I struggled with the words to choose from. Another thing I wanted to mention is what that noise was, is RuneScape, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm playing RuneScape. Well, I mentioned I was playing on a Fresh Start World a few weeks ago, but as it turns out, I'm having more fun just continuing my Iron Man account, so I'm kind of focusing on that. I think when they unlock the treasure hunter shit for Fresh Start Worlds, I'll jump back in, because I mean, I've already got like 80 keys waiting to be used from just like playing the game, so that could be pretty fun. But I don't know if I'm really going to be pushing for a level 99 or whatever. It was fun to just be like, wow, look how fast the XP is, and it might grab me again when we get up to like 200% XP. XP or whatever the insane cap is going to be, but I'm having a lot more fun on my Iron Man because I'm able to actually focus on unlocking things through quests and things like progressing through Runespan and Dungeoneering and stuff like that, and unlocking perks. Whereas when I do that stuff on my Fresh Start World account, that feels like a waste of time because I'm not going to be playing that account after the Fresh Start World period has ended, and it would just feel like repetitive gameplay doing it all over again. So I have not done it on that, which has driven me back to my Iron Man, of course. Now you may be thinking, Christian, it sure sounds like you have 2 subscriptions to RuneScape right now, and yeah, I do. Jagex don't deserve me. Don't do what I did. It's not. Don't do it. I'm ashamed. I have knocked another bunch of things I'm subscribed to on the head, which is kind of how I've justified it. Which is actually going to be a segue into another topic. I finally finished my Xbox All Access thing, which is what I used to get my Series S. It's been 2 years I've paid it off. So now instead of paying £20 a month for both Game Pass and my Xbox, which is basically what Xbox All Access is, now I only have to pay £11 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and I can pause that whenever I wish because it's just a subscription and not a fucking credit thing. So I'm really happy. If you want to hear more about my thoughts, go to kritigri.wordpress.com because I was doing a monthly blog series about it, and I have a summary of my thoughts on the whole Xbox All Access thing there. But yeah, if you have a steady income and you can afford it, I heavily recommend it as a way of getting it, because also, like, it's just nice at the end. This isn't part of my recommendation for what you should do, but it is nice at the end when you're like, oh hey, that frees up £9 a month, which I could really use right now. And also I know about the Xbox Live Gold conversion trick, don't worry. I might figure that out next month when I cancel. I can just cancel my sub and do it then. I just don't have the lump sum to throw at it right now. But yeah, also I got rid of Amazon Prime Video and my DC Comics subscription because just like everything else with my attention span, while I absolutely love it, I do get distracted by other things, so I haven't been reading any comics lately, and I'm like, you know what, I should probably stop having this subscription. Last thing I want to mention is a fun story. The other day I went in to get a flu jab, which you should do. Book your flu jabs, folks, do it. And they were like, hey, while you're here, do you want a COVID jab? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want a COVID jab, are you serious? And they were like, yeah, okay, we'll do it at the same time. And I'm like, wait, you can do them at the same time? They're like, yeah, it's no big deal, it's fine. Turns out, folks, if you have a flu jab and a COVID jab at the same time, it will mess you up. Well, it might not mess you up. I shouldn't fearmonger. But I was very ill for a night, and I would still obviously take that over getting flu or COVID for reals. But it was not a fun experience if you can like space those out, because normally I'm fine with jabs. Normally they don't affect me that much. I might feel a little bit funky in the evening after a jab, but normally I'm fine. But let me tell you, bloody night before last, I was shivering in my bed. And then when I woke up later, I was absolutely boiling, and it was just, I couldn't go to work that morning. It was horrid. But then maybe I have an underlying cold anyway or something, because I have had a cough for like a month. Isn't this a fun thing to be talking about in an entertainment series? Did you also catch how that victory was stolen from me? I was at 19 kills for a while. That was upsetting. I totally choked. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Weekly Waypoint. Please let me know what you thought down below. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe for more, and I will see you next week. I hope. 19 kills. 19 kills. I was so close.